Hey everybody, thank you for coming to my channel. I want to welcome you to the World Energy Elevation with myself, it's Shamina. Okay, um, I want to tap in today. I know there are a lot of energies that's in the air, the frequency that's going along in the consciousness because of the full moon that's happening tonight in Capricorn. But I want to talk about the divine for a minute. Um, if you have been following anything in its conscious structure, you have been hearing the word the divine, right? Like either someone is talking about divine union, divine love, um, divine feminine, divine masculine, right? The word divine is popping up a lot lately. And I wanted to tune into that word and I had a couple of downloads this morning and I wrote them down. Okay, because y'all know my mind is neurospicy. I have so many things I be thinking about. It just okay. So I wrote it down and I wanted to touch on what does the divine like really mean? Like, because I know people know what it really means. I know a lot of people know what it means. But it's like I think people get stuck on the aspects of being that due to society structure and beliefs and the things that you've been taught or whatever, right? So I kind of just wanted to tap in, dive in deep, okay, in my mystical mind, okay, because I am very mystical. I'm a mystic, okay. So I wanted to tap in into what being divine really is, okay? So, what is divine? What is the divine? Pretty much point blank. If you see me I'm looking over at my notes, okay? Because I will keep on talking and I'll talk about something, and it's like, wait a minute, I need to revert back, okay? So you see me glancing, I'm reverting back. um, the divine is basically God, God, right? The aspects of God, the being of God, God in His total sense of self, okay? And when you hear divine, people like to get stuck on like which part is more divine than the other part, right? So, like in the masculine, feminine setting, there's a lot of talk about gender wars and man against women, women against men, and men are more powerful and women are weak, whatever the case is, right? And the women want to choose bears over men and all this extra stuff, right? So me personally, I can look at every aspect of that and pick out like, okay, well, yeah, that's right there, that's right there, that's not right there, that's right there, right? Like every aspect is true within itself. But in order for you to get into your divine state of being, you have to understand that all aspects are powerful within themselves. Because if you believe that your creation, whatever specimen you are in, if your creation is the more powerful creation, then the other creation has no divinity. And if the other creation doesn't have any divinity, then the other creation isn't from God. So which one is it? Like, if it takes both aspects to create life, and it takes both aspects to have this divine union. How can something be divine when there's another aspect that's over it? It's just, it isn't possible. And due to how your ego is set up, your ego will tell you that you're the most important. Your ego will tell you that you you are the one who has to be You are the one that has to be cherished, and you are the one that has to be respected, and you are the one that has to be in control. But once you understand, once you tap into your divine sense of self, that need for control and that need for respect and that need to be egotistical and to have your ego stroke will be disappear. And the reason why it was disappear, because even though you are in a certain aspect of yourself, there is a masculine and a feminine aspect in everyone. In everyone. Okay? If we if our fathers create the seeds to be implanted into our mother's womb, we are both of two aspects, right? So when you get to your divine sense of self, you will then begin to love both sides of yourself, both aspects of yourself. Because what's happening right now is everyone is about me, right? If y'all hear something, that's my dog. Okay, everyone is about me. Everyone is about I. Everyone is about it's my way or the highway. Everyone has this guard up because they believe another sense of aspect of themselves is too weak to be encountered with, is too weak for someone to tamper with, is too vulnerable for there is too vulnerable for people to allow people to see the other sense of them, because that is where their weakness is, that is where the softness lies, like that is where their power is withdrawn from. So by people feeling that way, they will literally put up a guard to the softer sense of themselves. And by them putting a guard up to the softer sense of themselves, it keeps that other aspect of themselves protected, yes. But that other aspect of itself is imprisoned. It does not have the God sense of love within it, because once you incorporate the two in the divine union, once you incorporate the two in the divine union, you will understand that both aspects of yourself are of God. Both aspects of yourself need love. Both aspects of yourself need compassion. Both aspects of yourself need respect. Both aspects of yourself needs to be cherished and uplifted and poured into, because the minute that you don't do that is the minute that you tell the being that you reside in right now. Take it for example, your being is a male counterpart, or your being is a female counterpart with a lot of masculine energy. Masculine energy is the first plate. It's the first aspect of your being. Okay? By this being the first aspect of your being, if you believe this is the most important aspect of yourself, you would then start to imprison, and you would then start to punish the feminine side of yourself. And the feminine side of yourself is about love. The feminine side of yourself is about growth. The feminine side of yourself is about nurturing. So if you cut off that aspect of yourself, which is within you as a masculine, once you cut off that aspect of yourself, right, you are now cutting off that aspect of a counterpart. Understand that, because in the law, in the universal law of oneness, we are all one. We are all connected. So there is an aspect of yourself that you don't like. If there's an aspect of yourself that you have been ignoring, and someone comes to you presenting themselves in that aspect, And your counterpart, who whatever relationship this is, you would then return how you feel amongst the aspect within yourself. You would then turn that on into your other counterpart, and then it will be a disruption there. There isn't a divine union within that space. There isn't a divine a love amongst that area. Okay, and let's just switch it around. Let's just say you are a woman, right? You're a woman, you have a lot of feminine energy inside of you. Okay, you have that feminine energy inside of you, but you tell yourself that all, oh, look at them June bugs, all those masculine energies are toxic, or you don't encounter the masculinity that's what's in you and keep it safe. Okay, you don't encounter that masculinity in you and love it to a certain extent, because we all have two aspects of ourselves. We all have duality. Okay, so once you start cutting off that aspect of yourself, or you view that aspect to be in a certain light, everyone that will encounter you from that aspect that's presenting itself from the masculine side, you already wrote that book on their particular masculinity, because that's how you feel for the masculine counterpart. It goes hand in hand. Okay, so when you get to the sense of divinity within yourself, when you get to the sense of divine, you have to be divine within your being. This has nothing to do with, this has nothing to do with the divine union of a counterpart. This has nothing to do with the divine union of a couple. Like, this is about the divinity that you will cultivate within you. Okay, because that is what God loves. God did not make any mistakes. So if God didn't make any mistakes, you have to love all aspects of yourself. There are just certain things that you have to learn how to compartmentalize and put in certain areas and put certain emotions over. But even in that, you have to cover every aspect of you within God's love. That's what you have to do. Okay? But we don't do that. Well, a lot of people don't do that. They will cut off the side of them that they don't like, or the side of them they think is weak, or the side of them they believe that doesn't need any respect or doesn't need any celebration. And then they take that same energy within they feel within they self, and they counteract it. They mirror that energy to other people who exhume that frequency within their lives. Okay, so step one, when it comes to divine, the divine in God is God's love. You have to love the feminine you have to love the feminine aspect of yourself and the masculine aspect of yourself in order for you to get to the true divinity of yourself. Okay, so okay, and being divine, it's about functioning from your heart space. Okay, I'm gonna get into the divine union a little bit later. Okay, but I'm trying to make this quick. Being in your divinity, it illuminates your heart chakra. It illuminates your heart sensitivity. It magnetizes. You have a magnetizing aura or energy amongst you that people who aren't residing in their divinity do not have. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay? Once you are, not saying that if you divine, you don't make any mistakes, that you, because we all are living in this human experience. I like to break that down because I know this is a mystical channel. I know I talk about stuff that kind of is like, this kind of everyone doesn't talk about, but I understand we still are living in this human experience. So by us still living in this human experience, there are things in this physical realm that we will have to deal with and overcome with our human physical vessels, right? But on the spiritual level, you radiate different when you are complete within the divinity within yourself. And I'm going to tell you why, right? Okay, so in this world, during this thing called life, we encountered a lot of people. We encountered a lot of people, encountered a lot of things. People have different body parts, different complexions, different heights, different material status, different ways of living, just whatever, right? Everyone is just different within their own selves, right? But once you are in your divine sense of self, once you are in your divine state, you radiate different. There is an aura about you because now you are activated with God's love. You can pretend that you look apart. You can buy the outfit that makes you look apart. You can drive that car that makes you look apart. You can have all these women on your roster because you look apart. You can have all these men on your roster because you look apart. You can play the part. You look like you are that. But understand, when you reach to the point of the level where you have God's love radiating inside of you, all of that looking apart does not mean shit. Does not mean anything. Because God's love radiates in a different fashion. Because God's love does not care about how you're playing the part. What do you have inside of your heart? What kind of divinity do you have within you that that draw people to you, that magnetize people to you, that you have a certain sense of aura about you? How does that look for you? What aura setting, excuse me, y'all, what aura setting do you have within you that people can see the divinity, the divine in you, the God within you? Okay? So can we, because I know people have a habit of looking and determining and crediting people on the physical value of themselves. But it takes someone who is connected to the divine to see the treasure of that God's love inside of you. It takes someone who also has divinity to see that aspect of yourself. It takes someone to do that. And if you are unable to do that, you will always find yourself looking and searching and conquering this physical aspects of being, because that magnetism, that aura, that gift that being in God's love has for you, you will not be able to find it. Excuse me, y'all, it is burning up. You will not be able to find it in that. God's love does not come from that. The divine sense of yourself does not come from outside of yourself. The divine sense of yourself comes from the connection and the love that you have towards God, the Most High, and within yourself. Once you have that connection of the divine, that connection is going to radiate out wherever you are. So it does not matter what car you drive. It does not matter. You can be on a bus. Okay? You can be sleeping on somebody's bus stop, excuse me. It doesn't matter. that radiation is different from anything this material world can gravitate and give to us physically. And when you aren't in your divine sense of self, people have a hard time recognizing what that is, because it will always be a push and pull with you and someone who is in their divine state. Not saying that they're perfect, but just in their within the connection that they have between themselves and the Most High. Right, that connection is strong. That bond is strong. That love that they have for the Most High and themselves is strong. Right. And if you aren't connected to the divine in that way, if you aren't connected to the Most High in that way, if you aren't connected to God in that way, you and the people that you come across with who is connected to the divine, it will always be an issue with y'all. It will always be an issue. It will always be a problem. It will, because the disconnect is coming from the blockage that they done placed on their heart. I am breaking out. I don't know what's going on. So if these people done placed a blockage on their heart that has the ability to make them divine, that has the ability to make them connected to the Most High in that way, they are looking and experiencing you on how they experience themselves. So when you are within a divinity within yourself, you love all aspects of yourself. You want to know why? Because that's what God does. God loves you and gives you the opportunity to change within that love. To, if something's difficult, something you don't like, something that you want to change in your life, okay, I love you. We gonna change in love during this aspect of yourself. We gonna change in love through this. Okay, God changes in love. All right. So if you are a person who doesn't understand or doesn't know how to do that or doesn't have the right tools to do that, you will start looking at people who do refrain in that energy as how you feel for yourself, and there will always be a disconnection there. It will always, you will never understand how this person can love you so much. You will never understand how this person can be so faithful towards you. You will never understand how this person can tell you that they love you and you don't have nothing. You will never understand how this person can say that they just really rocking with you like that and they in a better position that you are in. You will never be able to understand what that is, because when you are into your divine state and your divinity knows that shit does not matter. Where is your soul? Mister, get from over here. Get. Your divinity wants to know, where is your soul? Your divinity wants to know, where is your spirit? Your divinity wants to know, where is your heart? Once we can get that shit down the fuck pack, everything else is going to come towards you, because you want to know why. That's how God give us heaven here. That's how God give us heaven here. Once you are in your divine sense of self and you understand the connection that you and the divine have, okay, you understand the connection that you and the divine have. You understand the respect that divine has for you. You understand the strength that comes from divine. You understand the love that God has for you, and you understand where God wants you to be. And once you align yourself into those equations, the things that you're stressing about and the things that you want and the things that I just can't get it because well, maybe because no, you have not came. I'm sorry, y'all. Sometimes when I talk, these animals, they everything gets activated, okay? But those things be it's not that they don't belong to you. You're not gravitating to the divinity within yourself. And once you gravitate to the divinity of yourself, everything that you're stressing about, everything that you're worrying about is not going to be where it's not going to be there. It's not, because you have been faithful in your stance. You have been faithful in yourself. You have been faithful in your heart. You have been faithful in your divinity. You have been faithful in that area. You have been faithful to God. You have been faithful to God's love. So you worrying and you stressing and you thinking that you're not good enough. God says you can have what is it that you want. You can have your heaven here. But if you're not connected to God to even experience that love and that strength and that faithfulness, how you think you're gonna be connected to God's abundance? It doesn't work like that. It doesn't. And I understand people want it to work like that, or they think it works like that, but it does not work like that. Because once you are connected to the Most High, once you are connected to that God center yourself, once you are connected to that aspect of yourself in that way, you will be abundant wherever you are. You will be abundant. Period. And your abundance will not come from this physical realm. And when I mean abundant, you will be abundant in your heart. You will be abundant in your mind. You will be abundant in your peace. You will be abundant in your respect. You will be abundant in your integrity. You will be abundant in your love. You will be abundant in your frequency. Who gives a fuck what these people say about you? You're abundant in your frequency. You're abundant in your heart. You're abundant in your mind. That did not come from nobody but the Most High. But if you don't have that connection, it will always be a disturbance there. It will always be a disturbance there. So let's talk about, okay, let's see. Let's talk about the divine love, right? The divine union that everyone, excuse me. Let's talk about that divine love and the divine union that everyone is looking for, right? Like I said, if you're listening to oracle readings, if you listen to tarot, or they go that butterfly, it's a white butterfly that's been following me for 3 weeks. I usually see butterflies, but it's always that one little, it is not big, it is not little, it's just real light and fluffy. This butterfly has been following me for 3 weeks. That butterfly have followed me into the store and walked out with me. Okay. I gotta connect a little bit more, because I don't know what this butterfly is telling me at this point. Because obviously this butterfly has this message for me. What this message is, I do not know. But when I tell you this butterfly has been following me for 3 weeks, this butterfly has been following me for 3 weeks. Okay, so let's get to the divine union. Let's get to the divine love, to the divine relationship that you want with your partner, that you want with your significant other. Your divine union, the union that you share with your counterpart, the union that you share with the person you love, can only be divine once you get divinity within yourself. If you can't get to that space, it will never be. If you can't get to that space, it will never be. And let's talk about the people that's on the twin flame journey. If you are a space where you figure like, you are in the sense of your divinity, you know what your divinity is, you're working to get towards that space. If your other twin can't reach you, it won't work this time. You guys have to probably come back and do it all over again, and hopefully they can learn their lesson the time they come back. They can't come back again, okay? But when it comes into your divine union, your union will never be divine if you don't have divinity within yourself. The divinity that you want in a relationship will never become one if you're not divine within yourself. It will never be. It will never. It will never. Now, our ego tells us that we can have all aspects of a relationship. Our ego tell us we have all the respect of the relationship. Our ego tell us that we can have everything that we want and to inquire and that we demand in a relationship without being divine. That's how your ego trips you to fuck up. Your ego will always make you go outside of yourself. Your ego will never have you connecting to the divinity within yourself. Your ego will never have you do that because your ego will always tell you that it's about you. Your ego will always tell you that you are the most important and you have to treat people as pawns in this world. Your ego will always tell you that, but when you get into the most high and when you get to the divine and when you get to your divinity will never tell you that because your divinity know you have to love all aspects of yourself in order for you to reach that union. So if you just break it down the way I broke it down, and you believe you can have divine union being selfish and being disrespectful in your ego because you want what you want, but all in all, you can't understand why this divine union won't come into play. You will never get into play. I don't care how many batteries you put in. I don't care how much time you charge it. I don't care how many memories you have with it. I don't care what you try to do with it, how you try to dress it up. It will never be. It will never be. It will never be. Because when you are in your divine state, you feel that blockage. You know what that blockage is. You know where that door is closed into that other person aspect of themselves because your door is open. So it's like you always walking into the room, or you walking into the relationship, or you walking into the counterpart within yourself. You are walking into this with open arms, and then you always meet in a closed door. There's going to be friction there. There's going to be a lot of friction there. But your ego tells you, oh, that's not possible. Because look who you are. It's a billion people in this world, but you are the only one that deserves to be heard. You are the only one that people should respect. Everyone should be under you. Everyone should move how the way you want them to move because it's all about you. Your God divinity state, your divine state will never tell you anything like that. Okay, so if you're in the space in your life where you figure like you're ready for that divine union and you're ready for that twin flame union and connection that everybody talk about is so magnetic and it's so love and it's so unconditional and it has so much compassion and it has so much passion and it has so much nurturing in these relationships, and it's like you guys are one. You are on one accord. You're magnetized. There go a bumblebee, y'all. You are magnetized to each other. You can feel each other. You can sense each other. You know what each other need because you have this lucid and this fluid and this frequent energy that just comes from you to them. It just comes from you to them because there's nothing closed right there. It just comes from you to them. Whatever you feel, that love, that energy, that respect, that compassion, that love is always just you always pouring each other like this. So y'all can see my hand. Y'all know how to do Tai Chi. I think I'm saying that right. That's how it kind of go. But I'm kind of just looking at my hand. It's just an easy transfer. That energy is just going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And you want to know why it's going back and forth? Them people have reached their divine sense of being where there is nothing that's closing the frequency. Oh, shit. It's easy for that to go back and forth because there is nothing to close that frequency. They are open. They are connected to the divine. There is no blockage there. There is nobody in your ego telling you, I ain't going to do that for you because you didn't do that for me. I ain't going to do that. There is nothing that's going to tell you that. You want to know why? Because even if you figure like your partner couldn't do that for you, there's going to be something inside of you like, this is what my partner needs from me. Let me nurture my partner. Let me cater to my partner. Let me love on my partner. Let me be the same energetic frequency I want to have. Let me give that to my partner. You will never be able to do that if you're not in your divine sense of self. Understand that. So you can I if I will bet you $1 million right now, with the $1 million I don't even have right now. I will bet you $1 million right now that it will never work. You will never have that connection, because God does not move like that. You being in your divine state of yourself, it does not move like that. It does not. There is no hangups. There is no ego. You guys are one. You guys are one within each other. You guys are experiencing each other on a certain level. You guys are experiencing that love. There's nothing holding you back. There's no ego telling you, well, they think they better than me. Or would they, because you want to know why? Because both of y'all are fucking one in the soul and the spirit, because y'all done already made this, y'all done already came to the point where y'all first connection is going to come from the divine first. So if both you guys are divine counterparts and you guys meet here in this physical realm and you guys tend to experience each other, you're going to experience each other from a divine setting. You know, already made a promise to the divine. It's going to come through you wherever you are, whoever you with. And when you're with someone romantically in that setting, it's going to show romantically through that setting. Okay? So, and I want to talk about how being in your divinity, it magnetizes your energy. Okay? And when they talk about chosen ones or star seeds and all this other stuff, and they talking about if you have the gift, and you know the gift is, you know, people always coming to talk to you, people always approaching you, and this ain't just regular people. These are people who society will condemn. These people society will turn their back on. Those people are have a magnet are magnetized to people who are in their divine state of being. You want to know why? Because this world has become so cold and so egotistical that even if they don't know that's what they're looking for a sense of God's love, right? I don't care if they're on the corner talking to themselves. I don't care if they getting high off whatever they getting high off of. I don't care. But even in that aspect, they are still looking for God's divinity. They're looking for God's love. So if you are a person, you know, already made the decision, you know, already made up your mind that you're going to experience life through God's love, no matter what's going on with you, those people who are in search of God's love will always be attracted to you. That is a given. You are the portal. You are the connection. You are the energy source that radiates God's love. So they're going to come to you and they're going to speak to you, and they may ask you questions, or they may tell you what they have going on in their life. They may come to you for guidance. They may I don't have people come to me and express some of their most deepest, darkest secrets. Just me being in their proximity, and then they walk away and say, "Thank you, I love you." You welcome, no problem. I love you too. Being in that energy, being in that aura, it magnetizes you. So back to what I said in the beginning, it does not matter who you look like in this physical experience. It does not matter what you have in this physical experience. When you are radiating in God's love, and you are radiating in God's light, and you are radiating in God's divinity, you will become a magnet. You will begin to magnetize things in your life. You had the connection to the Most High. You got the plug. Everybody trying to, oh, I got the plug, or the plug, or the plug, and then this and that, or this the plug, and you are the plug. You got the connection. You got the connection. Okay? So I just want to talk to y'all about that because I know it's a lot of stuff talking about the divine, and divine isn't divine that you have to activate your spirit. You got to activate your heart. You got to have to activate your soul. Okay? You got to let go of that ego mindset. You got to let go of what they told you here. All right? You got to touch in on what your heart say. You got to touch in with how you feel in your heart space. If there's a blockage, if it doesn't feel right, it does. If it doesn't feel right, that means you have to eliminate it. You have to discard it like it's a piece of trash. You know how your stomach hurt, you done ate whatever you ate tasted good, but your stomach is telling you, I got to let this out. You gonna let it out. And that's what you have to do when it comes to your heart. You have to purge. You have to get to the point where you are so connected to the divine and to the most high and to God and to God's love that you aren't distracted by what people are saying, what people are doing, and how people are looking at you or viewing you, because your connection comes from the most high first. Okay? So y'all have a good one. Y'all have a safe one. Y'all want to do your full moon rituals, you can do it now. The full moon, your ritual, you can write down what you want to release out of your life. Write down how you want your life to be. Seal it, write it, mail it, burn it. Do whatever you feel like you have to do to release. You can even speak it to existence because God is everywhere. Your words are magical. You can even speak it. Just like, oh, I want to release this out of my life. I want to encounter more of these things. I want to, because when you are in your full moon setting and you're doing the full moon ritual, that full moon is about releasing. Because when your hands is full, like your hands could be full with something. But when it comes to something that you really want, if you don't really let go of what's inside of your hand, how can you grab what you desire? Okay, so when it comes to full moon and they talking about rituals and manifestations, you can manifest and do your ritual with that with the full moon. Okay, so y'all have a good one. Y'all have a great one. Y'all have a safe one. Okay, and be in God's love and be in God's light always. All right, bye.